Welcome to the Creative Playing Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Welcome back to #RPGaDAY2020. This is the Creative Playing Podcast Network. It is August the 15th. The word for the day is frame. So for me to go ahead and frame the start, I gotta say, Kelly, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I heard you adjusting your headset, so I thought you were there.
Yeah, no, and now everyone knows what day my birthday is.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah. Nice frame job there.
Yeah, I framed you appropriately, didn't I? It was all a frame up, I tell you.
Yeah, there's the birthday girl. Wanted poster. It was framed, I tell you, I was framed.
So what do you have for frame that's RPG related?
Oh my God, this was so hard. I was trying to think of...
This year's rough.
Yeah.
It's 2020. Ain't no lie.
That's true. Well, actually, I did think of one time that when we had played Dresden Files a long time ago, and I was the half fae.
The changeling?
The changeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I wound up framing the white court vampires with the fae and the Irish mafia. I framed them for all these crimes that had occurred, and I totally placed the blame on the white court vampires. I totally framed them up. In all honesty, we had done them.
As well as, I believe in that one, there was a frame job on a certain fellow player's Fabergé egg being stolen.
Well, it was, okay, oh yeah, okay. I framed okay. We were doing this museum heist, okay? And in order to gain access, we convinced one of our characters, my mother's character, who had, I forget, she had like resources, her resources were really high. So she had her background, she came from this really wealthy family and like the creme de la creme of Boston society. And so we convinced her in order to get access to this high-end art show of these, rare artifacts and relic pieces and, high-end, jewelry that she should, have her Fabergé egg on display. And what we were really going in was for one of the coins of Demarius?
The Denarian coins.
Denarian coins, that's it.
Coin that holds an evil fallen angel.
Yeah, exactly. One of the 30 pieces of silver. Well, her character was a cat burglar. And my character, who was also a thief, I came up with my character first, kind of took offense at that because she became a thief in order to survive. You know, she and her sister growing up in an orphanage, nothing, you know, not two coins to rub together. So my character kind of took offense at her, you know, joyriding, so to speak, for something that she learned to do, you know, out of necessity. And plus, it was kind of fun. But, so, yeah, I kind of played a little prank on her, unbeknownst to the rest of the group. We had gone in and we knew that they were going to be trying to go after these people were going to be going after the coin, which was in a headdress of coins, but one of them was the denarian coin. So we had kind of like staked out the place, and while we were doing this, and we were breaking into the, you know, exhibit anyways, so I kind of stole her Fabergé egg. And I would have gotten away with it too if Kiri hadn't figured it out. My sister figured it out.
If it wasn't for you meddling twins.
Yeah, my twin sister figured out what I had done. And I was totally willing to frame that her egg. Oh, that's too bad. That egg was stolen with the rest of this stuff. I'm really sorry about that. And my sister ratted me out to my mother. Like, she had figured it out that I had done it, and then she ratted me out.
Don't commit the crime unless you're willing to do the time.
Yeah, so I had to give her back her Fabergé egg. But on the other hand, I did steal that one gem from her later on. You know, the MacGuffin that everybody was looking for? It was like, what, the jade phylactery?
Yep.
So, hey, I got there first. I know she really had her heart set on it, but yeah, so, not only had she framed the bad guys for stealing Mom's Fabergé egg, I had also wound up with the Irish Mafia framing the White Court vampires and the Fae. I had also framed them with, so yeah.
Starting the whole mob war in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a frame job.
My character was, you know, a changeling, and not only that, of the Autumn Court which is practically non-existent.
That's true.
So we had to get a little back, you know. So I was a child of Autumn.
And the important thing was, you know, no Fae were harmed in the making of those frame jobs.
Yeah, and my character had the ability to be invisible. Except for that one little Irish lady. She knew that I was there. So, that was the only thing I could think of for frame.
See, for frame with me, I'm going to go for every GM has to make sure that they frame the scenes when they're doing the RPGs. You know, sort of like in the White Wolf system, you know, and on Scion, how they used to do those little cue cards that had the breakdown of here's what the players are doing here, here's what they need to accomplish, here's some little extra things that they might get away with, you know. So that way the GM has the idea of framing what is the scene, so that way you know when to screen swipe to the left, fade scene, you know. Because think about that. Framing in scenes can be really, really difficult, especially if you're playing Fate or if you're playing White Wolf, where they have, you know, things that last for a scene, you know. When does the scene end and when does it become a new scene?
True.
I mean, it can't always be as easy as when Luke Skywalker fights Vader in you know, Bespin City, you know. All of a sudden he falls down the hole. Scene is over. Now his character's been taken out for the rest of the scene, and he has to cry for Leia to rescue him. And then Leia gets to rescue the damsel in distress.
The dude in distress?
The dude in distress. So one of those things is to think like a TV director or a movie director when you're making the scenes. Think of them as actual scenes, like even in books, when you have the scene set, when you see where the writer distinctly changes the scene, so that way, your little jumping off points. So it's not, and then, and then, and then.
And then, and then.
Especially if it's chase scene, because those are hard to frame. Come up with 3 random things, because like all good chase scenes have those framed in the screen of 3 things, like a fruit cart. They always hit the fruit cart. They always have the loose tiles on the roof.
The pane of glass, the
2 guys walking down with a TV or a pane of glass gag, because that's classic.
Mhm.
So that's what I've got for frame, is making sure as a GM, you basically make sure to frame the scene. So that way the players know, hey, we showed up at the park. What are we doing at the park? What's going to happen when we go to the park if we do nothing? All of a sudden there's a scream in the night and a mugger mugs a woman.
You just set the stage.
Yes, I frame the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So August the 15th, Kelly's birthday, and RPGaDAY2020's word for the day is frame. Did I frame that well?
Yes, you did.
Okay, that's a good place to wrap it up there then.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.